Good morning and welcome to another episode of Josh and Pat. I'm Joshua Klein, joined by Patrick Cassett. And yesterday we watched potentially the worst play of all time. Now, when you think of worst plays of all time, Patrick, you think of several different plays. Tony Romo, botched snap with the Cowboys. That was a tough one. Or maybe you think of Dak Prescott running it up the middle and downing the ball with no time left to lose the game.
You think of Leon Lett ice skating his way and touching the football to lose the game against the Dolphins.
You think of Colts, fake punt, fourth down.
Mark Sanchez, butt fumble.
These are all bad plays. These are all plays that we say, we look at, we go, listen, I could have drawn up a better play than that. Last night, we watched Ezekiel Elliott as the center snap the ball to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott then throws it to
Turbin.
And he gets crushed, dead, immediately. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott, when he snapped that ball, he was pancaked in about 0.2 seconds.
I thought he could hold himself up a little bit better than that.
He could not. Turns out centers are centers for a reason. The Cowboys should be disgraced right now, Patrick. They should be embarrassed. They should be searching for a new quarterback, a new coach, a new owner, I'd argue. You know, guess what, Jerry? Maybe it's time to take your hands off the reins just a little bit. Because whatever's happening in Dallas needs to stop today. Because, listen, I feel bad. This is a pro-Dallas fans show. I don't want to see Dallas fans suffer. And they've been suffering for a long time, a lot. So,
well, Josh, let me put it like this. You know, they have a couple seconds left in the game. They line up. They got Zeke at center.
Yeah.
They got this weird formation. I'm going, man, maybe this might work. I was like, these guys might be geniuses. And then clearly they're just idiots.
Yeah, it was not a great play, Patrick. And did I think that the Cowboys had a chance? Absolutely not. Was I actually rooting for the Cowboys to score so that we could see? I mean, this would be the most anticipated extra point attempt of all time. I mean, listen, Brett Maher. Is Maher how you say it?
Maher, sure. Yeah.
I mean, listen, if there ever was a case of the yips, this was the time. He misses 5 straight, 6 straight. I mean,
he missed,
the ball that was blocked. People are saying it was blocked. Listen, that thing was on course to go 30 yards left of the goalpost.
Yeah.
It was not. It was a horrible kick. The dude who blocked it was probably like, "I blocked that? What?" Like, he didn't even need to. He obviously comes back, hits a couple big kicks. That's good. Hey, that's good for him. Now, is he going to have a job next year? Well, like I said, probably shouldn't. They probably should clean house. This is a rebuilding time for the Cowboys. Okay.
Well, Josh, I mean, you saw in pregame warmups, Maher was still struggling, was missing kicks. Jerry Jones came down and gave him a pep talk. When does that ever happen? When does the GM, the owner, ever give a pep talk to the kicker?
But
I want to say what would be very funny is I know that Maher makes the 25-yarder and what was it, the 44, 43-yarder, whatever it was. It would be very funny if he just can't make an extra point, but he can kick a field goal. He just can't make an extra point.
It's tough, man. It is tough. Cowboys have issues, though. They have not won since 96. In that time frame, since they won the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts was conceived right in a womb for 9 months. Born.
Yes.
Learned how to walk. Learned how to talk. Learned what a football was. Went through, played Pop Warner. Learned how to play football. Played it in middle school. Played it in high school. Then, really learned the game. Goes to college. Enters the transfer portal and enters the transfer portal, goes to a new college, gets drafted, learns how to play in college, and then now is in the NFC Championship game. All in the time since the Cowboys last won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say, Patrick, that I think we should repick America's team?
I think America's team has let down America.
So
Clearly, it's not good enough.
I think that on the show right here, let's pick America's new team. Who is America's team? Because remember, the Steelers were offered the opportunity to be America's team. They said, "Nah, we're Pittsburgh's team." So you have to think about that. Not everybody wants to be America's team.
Yeah, Josh, this is a great question. When Peyton Manning went to the Broncos, the Broncos used to be one of the more popular teams. That being said, I don't think anyone in America wants Russell Wilson to be their quarterback right now.
No.
So it's a tough spot.
Why don't we just make the Chiefs America's team? I feel like the Chiefs, everyone kind of likes rooting for them, I'm pulling for the Chiefs.
What? I like that, Josh. America's new team, the Kansas City Chiefs.
And if you think about it, based off what the Chiefs are named after, it really does kind of speak to America's heritage.
Well, and think about it. Kansas City, known for its barbecue, known for its high-speed internet, two things I think Americans love.
Yeah, that's a great point. Hey, congratulations, Kansas City Chiefs, America's new team. Mm-hmm. Very exciting. So Micah Parsons, he was chirping at Deebo Samuel yesterday because, they put out something like, oh, we wanted the 49ers. This is who we wanted. And then Deebo goes and basically just brings up the receipts, And Micah Parsons like, dude, what did you do this whole game? And Deebo Samuel, 4 catches, not superb. But Micah Parsons only had 4 tackles, 0 sacks. Probably would have affected the game, especially when this was a defensive-heavy game. You would think that the defense would be the stars who show up. Micah Parsons is not really super present. I'm sure he did stuff. I'm not good enough at watching football to know what Micah Parsons contributed to the game yesterday. I'm sure it was something.
Hey, not a film show. This is not a film show.
No.
This is an entertainment show.
Exactly. But listen, man, you got to know in life when to talk trash and when not talk trash and just be like, hey, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And that was one of those moments.
There's nothing worse than when you, like you said, Deebo had the receipts. There's nothing worse than when you're talking and you can just point right at the scoreboard and you go, why do you think we're on the same level right now? Because they clearly aren't. Look, 4 catches from Deebo is a hell of a lot better than 4 tackles from Micah Parsons.
Well, he also had 4 rushes, so that's like 8, contributions to that game. And it was a low-scoring affair, so it's like the offense wasn't going crazy. Is Brock Purdy the real deal? We talked a lot about the Cowboys and Dak's situation. Brock Purdy's not the real deal.
I'm starting to watch Brock Purdy with my own eyes, and I don't want to say...
Starting to see him with a sober lens is what you're saying, Right.
I'm coming off the high.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Brock Purdy because, obviously when they go, Josh and Pat, Pat, QB expert here, Brock Purdy, I don't think he reminds me of maybe a Nick Foles type. Just has a really great run in him, but maybe it's just a backup quarterback in the league.
So what do you think if he goes and obviously makes it to the championship game, if he loses to Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, he pretty much did exactly what Jimmy Garoppolo did. So so where do you go from here if you're the 49ers? It's like, we get it. It's like, we get it. Like, we can find a quarterback good enough to get us to the championship game, but we want that Super Bowl quarterback. Now, if he goes to the Super Bowl, he's going to be the starter for years to come. That's just how it's going to go. Right. They're going to have to give him a chance just because that's like the politics of the NFL. Like, if your team is led to the Super Bowl, and it's not like a Nick Foles situation where, kind of came in way later just for the playoffs, really. Brock Purdy's been in this, and he hasn't lost as a starter, so you have to give that a chance. It'll be interesting. Lil
Right.
Dicky, though, Lil Dicky, he's saying, hey, Brock Purdy's going to be exposed. He's going to be shown that he's a fraud. Um,
And that's the thing,
and I
Josh,
don't know what's
is
going to happen.
I I have little Dickie's opinion sometimes. I go, well, one of these weeks he's going to screw up, but he hasn't done it yet. And I sit here and I go, maybe he's a backup quarterback in the league, but he's undefeated. And if you're undefeated, sure, you know what you're doing. Also, he's a rookie
Yeah.
quarterback. So you think he's going to get better. This is why I keep talking myself in circles about this guy, because I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. But
No.
what I can tell you is if you got to choose between Brock Purdy or Jimmy Garoppolo, you're sure as hell going to pick Brock Purdy because he's the rookie quarterback. And what do you do with Trey Lance in this situation? Do you trade him now?
Yeah, you got to figure that out because you traded a lot of assets for Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. You ever see Lil Dicky's show, Dave?
The Dave or whatever the show is called.
Yeah, I saw season 1. It's actually I enjoyed season 1. I felt like it was an inside look to like an aspiring creator because as somebody who's in that same world of trying to make it,
You
it
sympathize.
was nice. Season 2 was a lot of penises.
I was told that season 2 wasn't as good as season 1, but
I
people
didn't I
think
couldn't
that season
I didn't really
3.
finish it. Well, people are saying season 3 is going to really come around, but I can't imagine. The season uh 3 of Ted Lasso though is around the corner dropping photos. It's big. I'm excited, Patrick. I don't know if you're a
Yeah,
fan or
I'm
not.
a big Ted Lasso guy, but this is the last season, right?
They're not doing it anymore?
I don't think so. I think Jason Sudeikis was basically like, this is a 3-season pony for me,
Jeez. I
which is
that they
unfortunate.
could have gone 7. Also, my mom, she complains that I have this Christmas tree behind me because she says it makes me look like I'm wearing a little hat. Do you think that's the case?
I think the issue is just the Christmas tree itself. Today is January 23rd. I don't think the problem is that it looks like you're wearing a hat. I think the
So if
problem
I
is it
sit here
goes,
like
Josh, is
this,
Josh
it's like a little
okay?
hat. Yeah. Well,
People are like, does Josh live in a bunker? Does he see the outside world? Does he know what today's date is? And I would argue Josh is okay.
I think so. I think I know what. We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. Moving on. So 49ers playing the Eagles. Eagles smoke the Giants. The Giants need to find a new quarterback because I was on the Daniel Jones hype train for like a week. He was my favorite quarterback.
Yeah,
And then
I think you persuaded me too.
now I'm so confused. I don't know what to feel. I was so and I entered like one of those FanDuel fantasy groups this week, with some
Oh,
people I
good for you.
know. And I picked all the players that I wanted to see succeed because I wanted to be able to root for them. And the Giants, I was heavy on the Giants because I wanted them to succeed.
Mhm.
They did not succeed, and it was an embarrassing look for me. And it's an embarrassing look for them. Now they break the boat curse. That's great. But they got to figure something out because I think this might be their ceiling.
I'm gonna stick up for Daniel Jones here. I'm gonna say the rest of the roster's not that good. Okay. I don't think Daniel Jones is that good, but I also look at guys like Jimmy Garoppolo. Is he that good? But he's gotten him to a Super Bowl, he's gotten him to the conference championships. So I think the ceiling's a little bit higher for this Giants team. That being said, if you really want to take the next step, I think you need someone better than Daniel Jones. But that being said, Daniel Jones is an NFL quarterback. I mean, he's proved that before this year. We weren't really sure what he was going to do. So, I mean, good for him. Unfortunate that he went to Duke, but
Yeah, yesterday had to be a good day for Brian Daboll, though, because you think about it, Brian Daboll had to go from Josh Allen to Daniel Jones. And then yesterday, it was kind of just like, oh, I kind of just went from Josh Allen to Josh Allen.
yeah, basically, and that's what we've been saying for a long time on the show. Obviously, is that Daniel
Because,
Jones is just as good as Josh Allen.
well, no, I think we're saying that Josh Allen is just as good as Daniel Jones. If I had to spin zone that, Josh Allen, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Stephon Diggs yelling at him, saying, hey, wait, dude, what is the deal, man? Like, I came here to win. You remember that photo I took when I was watching, the championship game, and I was sitting there and I was watching the celebration, and my back was facing, and I totally didn't rip this off from that one college dude. Because by the way,
Josh,
by the way, people are saying when people do that now that they're ripping off Diggs, but Diggs actually did rip off somebody who did it like in a bowl game, like not too long ago before that.
Uh,
But yes, what are you saying?
I think I saw a tweet. It might have been from one of the Barstool accounts, and it was a picture of Diggs like watching the celebration, and they said he's still standing there, and it's like oh, that's a tough one.
That is, oh man, that is a tough one. Listen, here's what I'll say. I just think that there's certain quarterbacks in this league who just know how to win and know how to get to the Super Bowl, and that certain sort of quarterback it's Patrick Mahomes, and I think that's just how it's going to be. But right now, Josh Allen is tied for most Super Bowl appearances in his quarterback class. So, you know, and then that's with like the likes of Baker Mayfield
and Josh Rosen,
who people are going to forget about, but sneaky good pick.
Yeah. I mean, he said there was 11 mistakes in front of him. So that's going to go down as a great quote, all timer.
Yeah. I mean, there were, I think, 11 mistakes potentially. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that works. Yeah, but I think Bills have problems, man. Bills got to figure things out.
Well, it's very funny because everyone talks about the Bills. Oh, I love the Bills. I love the Bills. I love the Bills. Well, clearly the Bills have some issues. They can't run the ball.
Can't.
Looked up. I don't even know when the last time they tried to run the ball in the game was. It felt like it was the second quarter. Josh Allen, I saw this yesterday on Twitter too. A person comparing Josh Allen to Phillip Rivers. They said, "Where's the same number? Can't get it done in the playoffs." And I was like, "Oh, that's a tough one." So I don't know.
How many kids
Josh
can
Allen,
we expect?
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen. Everybody goes, he's a great guy. I mean, good for him. But at some point, Josh, would you rather win or would you rather lose a like heartbreaker playoff game where it's so close and something just didn't go your way, or would you just get demolished? Like
Oh no, so close, so
Bengals,
close because then I could make like say it wasn't me, and be like, hey, it was so close. The difference maker wasn't me. If
it was the referee.
If
it was a bad call.
If like yeah, or like if my wide receivers were like just like a little bit better, maybe we could have got it done. Those kind of things, because then you could always defer the blame. But you wouldn't, like, I could say like, oh, like I just got to play better, but then people would be like, oh, well,
Right.
he's just humble. Like we all know we got to get him some more talent. That's how I would personally approach it. But where was I going with that, Patrick? See, this is where it's tough, where you have a train of thought and then it gets interrupted by a different train of thought. Oh, here's the train that I was on. Boom. And I was riding. Choo choo. Basically, you saw how good that Bengals offense was against that Bills defense. Do the Ravens have the greatest defense of all time? Because we made that offense not look like the way the Bills made that offense look.
In the snow, too. In the snow. Let's not forget that. They were playing in the snow yesterday.
So I just feel like Ravens greatest defense of all time. I mean,
Josh,
insane. We could have, if we won that game, Patrick, we could have been in the AFC Championship game right now. Now I know how it works. I know that doesn't mean that we were automatically. If I know it's like, if we beat the Bengals, that doesn't mean we beat the Bills because the Bengals beat the Bills. I understand that's how it works, but maybe that's how it works.
Josh, yesterday it was tough to watch the Bengals Bills game because it was like they just kept ragging on the Ravens, right? It was and they weren't even like trying to. Like it was one of those things where you watch the Bills got down double digits earlier and they were like, yeah, the Bills have been down double digits twice this year. This is the second time. The other time was against the Ravens and they won the game, right? And then you got to sit there.
That's tough.
You got to sit there through a commercial. And, the commercial is them just showing the 98-yard fumble return, right? And you're sitting there and you're like, are you kidding me? Like, this is assault, right? Yeah. And then, you got Jim Nance, talking about how, the Bengals, they made it, defensive play less. It's like, we get it, man. Like, I saw it, okay? I get it. The Bengals are good. Okay. Should they have won that game last week? Probably not. But you know what? They're in the AFC Championship game. I'm not mad, but yeah, I guess I am.
Wait a second. So if we pay Lamar, we're not going to be able to keep probably Patrick Queen and Roquan, right?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
We're so screwed.
Yeah, but Roquan's really good.
We're so screwed. We need. Okay, here's what we do. Okay,
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe could work. What we do is this, Patrick. Sign Lamar to franchise tag. It's going to take him off, but guess what? He's going to play because he's a winner competitor. Okay, we don't sign him a long-term deal. We draft somebody, quarterback, get him in the building, get him developed behind Lamar. Then what we do is we just re-sign all the defense. We bring in DeAndre Hopkins, 1-year deal, but we say, hey, if it's, we can make this longer. We can make this worth your while, because I know somebody in Delaware has set up a GoFundMe, and they're going to get you some serious money. And so he's going to want to come there. And then the next thing you know, we just develop a young quarterback on a rookie contract. We get some big weapons, great defense, and we have a great run game. And then we win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds great, right?
Yes, it sounds really great. I'd argue sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
we're gonna.
I don't.
I think that's what's gonna happen, Patrick. I really do think that the Ravens, just if we pay Lamar Jackson the amount of money that Lamar Jackson is demanding, we are never going to be a complete football team, because and we are going to have to then rely on Lamar Jackson to show up every single game, play great every single game, which he has shown that in the big moments, in the playoff games, in the times that you need Lamar Jackson to show up, he's not there for some reason.
Yeah, Josh, I'm so on the fence about Lamar. I love Lamar.
And by the way, I had a dream that he wasn't a Raven anymore, and it was a sad dream. It was like watching, like seeing like your ex-girlfriend when she finally gets that, and like a new man, and it's just like, oh man, it's like I don't like to see that.
Right, but at the same time, like, Lamar's going to cost so much money, and the stuff that you're saying,
a ridiculous amount of money.
And it's just like, maybe there's a point, so I'm so on the fence. If you want to read my thoughts, go to picksandpancakes.com. No big deal.
Yeah, plug it.
But, I don't know. We'll see what happens with the Ravens. It's just, it's a sad day. It's a bad day, especially because the Ravens would have went to play the Chiefs, right? And then the one time that Mahomes gets hurt, we're not in the playoffs to play them. And, I mean, how do you feel if you're Jacksonville? I mean, you're sitting there. Mahomes is out of the game. You got Chad Henne, and you're still not within 10.
Yeah, that's
in the fourth quarter.
Oh, by the way, I'm surprised that the Chiefs even put Patrick Mahomes back in that game. I would have been like, listen, we don't need Patrick Mahomes back in this game. Like, we'll be just fine. And then it also plays the mind games, because then you could have gone into the next week and been like, oh, is Patrick Mahomes, like, is he? I don't know if he's going to be able to start. And then the Bengals are trying to figure out, oh shoot, do we got to prepare for Mahomes? Whose tape are we watching here? That could have been could have been a great move. They could have really just snuck up on. They could have been like leaking reports like Patrick Mahomes did not practice this week. Sought rehab. By the way, I know it's probably tough with the media, and I don't know if this is against the rule. I would lie to the media all the time if I was like a head coach.
I mean, I think they kind of do that.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like I could take it to an extreme. If I was the head coach, I'll go so far. I would just think of creative things that people haven't ever thought of. Like, I would have my people show up to their practices and film it. But like disguised as media members. Sometimes, like, if we were in a really cold like weather game, like maybe like take some PSI out the pigskin, make it a little bit more grip. Like, I think I'd find ways around the pesky rules.
There would be nothing funnier than just a coach trolling, right? and just being like, yeah, like we actually sent Patrick Mahomes. He's off campus today. We sent him to an outside doctor to do outside rehab, and meanwhile, he's at practice like that.
Yeah. 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 You could. I think all those things are great options. But Patrick, looking ahead this game or next week, you got Bengals versus Chiefs, which Chiefs have never been able to win against the Bengals. And then you got
Sure.
49ers, Eagles. Which game are you looking forward to more?
Josh, I'm really looking forward to the Eagles 49ers game because I don't even want to touch the AFC.
Yeah.
I'm still upset. I'm still so mad that the Ravens lost that game.
Yeah.
This one stung, man. That one stung. But 49ers and the Eagles, I think it's going to be an awesome game because they both can run the ball so well. I think it's going to be awesome to see that. I think Hurts is a dynamic player.
He's a fraud.
Even though I bet against him this weekend, and he proved me to be pretty stupid.
You take the under?
So no, I did not.
Yeah, you took the Giants.
Yeah, I took Giants plus 3.5. Move the line.
Man, that's a tough one, man. You're cold. You're cold. Well, Pigs and Pancakes, by the way.
Cold.
Hey, we're undefeated in the playoffs. I'm not sure if you're aware. We're not a regular season team. We peak at the right time. I think we're gonna make a run to the Super Bowl here.
That is, Josh. Really, you only got to predict 2 more games, right?
That's the thing. You only got to predict 4 games right in the season.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. And I'm on base. This is like an underdog story that nobody is expecting. That the Ravens,
You're on pace.
the Ravens were so bad that they managed to break an unbreakable curse. Well, because the kicking curse, was against them. So the kicking curse effectively broke the Picks and Pancakes curse and gave us a new life. And so if you're not tailing with us going into next week, I mean, you guys are fools. We might never miss a pick again. By the way, Patrick, I've been seeing this person. He decided he was going to take $1 and double it for 10 days and make it $10,000. And he hit the first 8 days already in a row. And to double it, you don't you need to put together like a part. You're not just putting it like one bet. Like I can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna take Chiefs money line. That doesn't get you to double your money.
Right.
And legitimately, he doesn't miss. He doesn't miss.
Must be nice. It must be nice, Josh.
It's ridiculous.
Did you see the guy that put a $5 parlay down on every first touchdown this weekend?
Oh, ridiculous. $70,000 payout. How does that happen? And listen, I will never put a pick like that together because first touchdown scorer is complete. There's no way you can know that. That is just the most just throw money at the wall thing of all time. That being said, the people who do hit that, I hope it didn't cost you $70,000 of misses to get that win. And if it didn't, maybe cash out, never gamble again.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Josh. What I would do is I would probably do okay, I'm with $70,000. Okay. $68,000 is going straight to the bank. And then $2,000 might stay in the account.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Well, Patrick, I think that's the show. I think we hit everything that we had to hit. It's surprisingly with all the games that there were yesterday, and there were 4 this weekend. Yes. Those are the only storylines. It's like nothing else happened in the world.
Well, I just want to say, excuse me, I have a little announcement with me. Today, January 23rd, I will officially be picking 3 games against the spread for college basketball every single day for the rest of the regular season. So we'll have a blog up on Picks and Pancakes kind of announcing that a little bit later. But We're going to try to break the ice cold streak, man.
I'll be fading. And that's nothing against you, Patrick. It is nothing.
That's fine.
It's nothing against you.
I respect it.
Because here's the thing, Patrick. Having been on your side of picking bad picks, like I almost wish people would have faded me, because I almost
would have made a good amount of money.
Because it would have been great. And so I'm just like, having been in that spot where I go, man, like, you got to ride the tides, the highs and lows. And right now, but also, no, screw that. I'm riding with you, Patrick. I got to support the show. You know what? Whatever your picks are, as long as they're put in a timely manner, I'm driving to Maryland. I'm putting $2 down on a parlay. And we're going to, I believe in you, Patrick. Who we got tonight?
Thank you. Well,
you don't want to
really dive into the schedule.
You're really going to get into it.
Yeah,
wait, are we talking about college basketball?
College basketball, strictly college basketball.
Hey, did Georgia cover?
Josh, it's very funny. So sitting there, -4, vibes are high, right? Georgia basketball, they're trying to come back.
Yeah.
The arena's actually full, right? It's kind of loud. And they're down by 3, a couple seconds left. And the whole time, I'm like looking at the score and I'm like, man, I'm not going to cover. I'm not going to cover -3.5. I'm not going to cover. I'm like, got to get this to overtime. And of course, they couldn't make the shot to get it to overtime. So,
well, that's tough, man. You're going into kind of cold, but you know what? You can turn it around. We got some Jack Casey. He's not cold.
He's 3 or 4. It's pretty solid.
That's not bad. I mean, you take that, right? Well, cool, Patrick. Hey, good luck with that. And by the way, if you guys aren't on picksandpancakes.com, get there. We're gonna come up with a name eventually for the company, and that's gonna be an appropriate time after, so people don't just consistently. I mean, we'll just roll Picks and Pancakes. That was never the intention. The intention was to come up with a name that was really, really good media company name, really just in line with our brand and everything we do and stand for. Picksandpancakes.com though. It's what it is right now. And it's like I gotta think of it. I've been trying to think of a name, Patrick. I have brainstorming sessions every time I'm in that shower. I'm sitting there. My mind's turning. I'm going, okay, name. And then I go to, and I come up with a great name. I go to buy the domain. And the great names are not in our domain budget. It's just how it is. It's our company is just, we're at a different level right now. But it's okay. We'll figure it out. Followers are up. Views are up.
Yeah. We'll keep grinding.
We'll keep working. I went on a live yesterday. Had one concurrent viewer for 20 minutes. Really, I would
argue
they were committed. They were committed. They were in the comments. Had somebody from Delaware pop up. Had one of the kids from Bayside pop in.
Wait, who?
Matt Core.
Matthew.
Yeah.
I wonder how Dar is doing.
I don't know. But it was just how it was funny. He found me on the one video. I was like, what? And so he popped in. We had a good time. The problem is now, Patrick, we just gotta, once you get to a certain amount of followers, you're always just going to be progressively losing followers at at a somewhat steady pace, because that's how it is. People are always going to be unfollowing accounts. You just have to make sure that you're gaining followers faster than you're losing followers.
Amen.
And right now we're on that path.
Which is great.
Anyway, guys, thank you for listening, watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you listen to the whole thing, send us a DM right now on picksandpancakes.com and I will send you a mug. Nobody's ever cashed me on that offer. Here's the thing. It's going to be great, though, because the show's made it the day that somebody goes and sends me a DM to get the mug, then it's like, okay, that means that we are in a great spot if that ever happens, you know?
One of these days, Josh. One of these
It's
days,
gonna
it's gonna
happen.
happen,
Somebody's
man.
gonna say, somebody's gonna go, and somebody's gonna send me a DM and be like, "Hey, like I listened to the end of the episode. Does that mean I get a free mug?" And I'm gonna be like, "Yes, it does. Like, what's your address? Like, I'll send you this mug. Like, what do you like? We're gonna get it. Like, whatever you want, man. I might send more. I might send a hoodie. Like, I might be in a generous mood because."
Stop. Let's hold it to the mug. Let's hold it to. Let's not get
Well,
away.
well, because we think about it, because I say this at every episode. So we have the giveaway budget, you know, and if the way it works is if we don't give away a certain amount in the quarter, then they're gonna be like, hey, when we come back around to do the budget again, they're gonna be like, hey, do we really need this much in the giveaway budget? And I'm gonna be like,
right, that's true. And
and,
we
and
don't want
I've
to have the
and I
finance
and
people
I
like that.
and I've always been an advocate to the finance people and be like, hey, I giveaways, that's a priority to me. That's something I want to build this company on. And the finance people, they fight back on me, you know. And
Well, right, because the finance. I mean, when you get the group, they do their great job of what they do. But they're always trying to look at cut corners. They're trying to help the company.
they're always trying to save a couple bucks, and I appreciate everything the finance team does. Like, don't get me wrong, the finance team does a great job. Now, granted,
I'd argue, Josh. I'd argue the finance team isn't there. It's a hard company to have.
oh no, I mean, we have a lot of teams, and without all these teams, this company doesn't run. But the finance teams work
Right.
now. The team that we need to get on, the brand monetization team, you guys need to be working a little bit closer with the finance team, because whatever's happening right now is kind of unacceptable. That being said, this episode is sponsored by picksandpancakes.com. Go read. It links to all our content if you want to see there. We're going to continue. We're going to innovate, guys. We're going to change it. We're just laying the foundation. And you know what the best part about laying a foundation is, Patrick? That after you lay a foundation, you get to start building the house. So it's going to be exciting stuff. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.